Hi everyone, welcome to Cache Walk.
We're in Liverpool in Beatle land and we're off to get a geocache.
Come with us, have a look around.
This morning we crossed over on the Stena Line car ferry from Dublin to Holyhead and then on to Liverpool. We parked the car and there's a 500 metre walk down to the banks of the River Mersey and our first geocache of the afternoon.
145 metres.
Okay.
Yep.
We're heading for a great Beatles virtual on the waterfront.
That away. Everyone loves bubbles.
Oh, let that one go.
Hello, what's Lynn filming here? It's the Mersey ferry called the Dazzle. The Dazzle ferry was created by artist Sir Peter Blake as part of a First World War commemoration. Blake is most famous as the co-creator of the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper album cover. The Beatles performed 4 times on the older Mersey ferry, the Royal Iris, at the Cavern Club's famous riverboat shuffle cruises in 1961 and 1962.
I got a sign. We're nearly at the statue of the Beatles, and the cache is called Liverpool Icons. It's a virtual.
Okay, let's go.
Very popular.
Join the queue then.
Join the queue, yes.
What have you just said?
Photo for the album.
Did you know? Hidden on each member of the Beatles sculpture, there is something personal to each of them.
Okay, let's try and get a closer look.
Paul has a memory of his late photographer wife, a camera.
George has a nod to his spiritual beliefs, some Sanskrit writing. John has his own token for world peace, 2 acorns. Looks like he's had his hand held a few times. Ringo has an item referring to the suburb of Liverpool where he was raised, an L8 inscription.
We found 3 of them very easily, but the 4th was nearly a did not find.
It was a tricky one.
Yeah, even one of the places we googled who said it was on the side of his shoe.
Yeah, it wasn't
because
right.
they had seen it, it wasn't on the side of the shoe.
No, it wasn't.
So we were very lucky. We had a little bit of help.
We did.
Not from the cache owner, but from a tour guide.
But sometimes you need to ask people, don't you?
You do.
But it
Sometimes you need
worked.
help. Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah, we did. Good.
Lynn tried to photograph it using her phone, but it came out blurry. I tried with the wide-angle lens of our GoPro. Can you see it? Definitely a favourite from us. To log the cache, we had to take a photo of a liver bird. Can you see them in the far distance on top of the buildings? Photo for the log.
Right, now the cache has some other coordinates.
Yeah, it says here a little more on Liverpool sculptures can be read here. So there's actually all sorts of things about this virtual that are interesting and that can be researched and looked at afterwards.
On we go.
It's about 10 minutes away. We're heading to the Cavern Club on Matthew Street, where the Beatles became the club's signature act. Their first performance there in 1961 featured John Lennon, Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Stuart Sutcliffe, with Pete Best on drums. Ringo joined the group later in 1962. Is that supposed to be Ringo?
Look up there.
What, the statue?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lots to see here as we walk along. We're arriving at Matthew Street. It all gets a little confusing here, with the Cavern Pub on the left and the Cavern Club on the right, and a little further down on the right, the original entrance to the Cavern Club. Let's look first at the Wall of Fame outside the Cavern pub. Recognise any names? Who is this outside the pub? A photo with John Lennon. Now over to the right to the new Cavern Club. Looks like we have arrived during Beatle Week. The Cavern Club closed in 1973 and was filled in during construction work on the Merseyrail Underground Rail Loop. This club opened in 1984. The location of the entrance to the original Cavern Club is a little further down on the right, along with a Cilla Black statue. Now it's off across town to another very famous place connected to the Beatles.
It's a 16-minute, 7-kilometre or 4.3 mile drive. Can you guess where we're headed? We're coming into a residential suburb of Liverpool.
Please follow the road for 1 mile.
Here we are. It's Penny Lane. Let's drive its length. It was of course made famous by the Beatles with the song Penny Lane. They released it on a single with Strawberry Fields Forever in 1967. It mentions the sights and characters that McCartney recalled from his upbringing in the city. In England alone there are over 30 penny lanes, often a nickname for an unimportant street or path, worth a penny. It was once an unimportant lane in the middle of the countryside. The origin of the name is not known for sure, and there are other possible origins from the area's past. The Beatles had intended it as a song for their album Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, but it was issued as a single to satisfy the record company's demand for a new release. Let's speed up a little.
My mum saw the Beatles in Auckland in the 60s. She was considered a very modern mum for going.
We're coming up to the A562 to see the barber's shop from the song. Penny Lane ends as we cross the A562. Here the name Penny Lane now refers to the general area ahead of us rather than just the lane.
In Penny Lane there is a barber showing photographs of every head he's had the pleasure to know, and all the people that come and go, stop and say hello. Couldn't resist that. We will turn around and take a closer look at the intersection we just passed.
It's the shelter in the middle of the roundabout, mentioned in the song. It was once a bus shelter with a waiting room and toilets. Paul would get the bus to John's house and have to change at Penny Lane, and John did the same when visiting Paul. They often hung about at the bus terminal here. Let's head on back to the other end of Penny Lane to hunt for the geocache. Penny Lane street signs were constant targets of street sign theft and had to be continually replaced. More theft-resistant signs have been installed. However, some are still stolen by tourists.
Hey, we've parked at one end of Penny Lane and we're just going to get the cache. How far, Lynn?
We are 30 metres away.
30 metres away. Right, let's go. Read it out as we get closer, eh?
Yep.
Here we are, we're getting close.
19, 17, 16, 14, 12, 10, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so it's around here somewhere.
We're at ground zero, are we?
Kind of. As close as we can. The brick wall drops low and meets metal fence. Container is magnetic. Well, that's a good hint. Somebody today hasn't found it, and somebody previously hasn't found it, so it's not looking good. But we'll try and hunt it out. We'll see.
What's it saying?
This is ground zero here now,
Oh, wow.
so it's kind of changed.
What about over there, where it sort of drops down?
Yeah.
I'll go hunt around over here. And where?
13 metres over there.
What about where it drops down there?
Yeah.
Brick wall drops down.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yep.
Doesn't look all that clean over here.
No, it doesn't, does it?
It's a bit dirty. Oh well, let's have a look. Okay, where did the GPS settle this time? Just here.
Yes.
And there's a log that suggests it's here too, a photo, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a photo. It looked like it was on top of that. But alas, I think it's a did not find from us too.
Yeah, it looked to be just wrapped up in plastic, didn't it?
Yeah, it's just like a plastic bag with. It's not,
Right.
I just think it's gone. Unfortunately.
Oh well, did not find for us today.
Took us to Penny Lane.
We got to Penny Lane anyway.
Yes.
Okay, this brings us to the end of our cache walk here at Penny Lane in Liverpool.
Yes.
We've had fun hunting the Beatles down, haven't we?
Yeah, it was great fun.
Yeah, pity it ended and did not find though. Still, we had a nice day and we did end up in Penny Lane.
And we got the virtual.
We did. Okay, thanks for watching.
And don't forget to go geocaching.